Hi, everybody. This is Marilyn. Do we have any audio? Maybe we do. Yes, we do. Thanks. Okay, this is Welcome to My World. It's the 2nd of November, and it's about noon. So I thought I'd take a minute and go over a couple of things. Unbelievably to me, we still have the VIX is around 14.5. And the indices are going up and up. And if people were trend trading or spread trading the TF, you should have had a pretty nice morning. I understand there were some problems over at Nadex, but anyway, just let them know. That's all I can say. The dollar has been in a bit of a real tight range, and so have bonds. And it seems like everybody's waiting to see what some of these. I think they're supposed to be deciding on some interest rate stuff in Europe, and it's all like a domino effect. So anyway, what we had this morning available to us was that after crude oil went down, it tended to go back up again. I have given up on this shadow bar thing for the Apex system until there is some programming that they're working on that I don't understand because I don't understand programming. But I just finally threw up my hands and said, you know what? Trading this diagnostic bar chart is, to me, really easy and very, very clear. So I thought I would go back over that. I do like this 210. I think the 210 is very easy to see. The only thing I would caution you is that in a very fast market, and when a lot of volume starts coming through, you're going to find that you're going through a lot of chart on this because the market's moving very fast. This 210 moves twice as fast as the 12 tick. Sometimes that's a good advantage, particularly for scalping, and sometimes not so much. So this morning, after I changed this chart around, and I believe I put this template that I have for this in the room, but if anybody can't find it or wants it, just let me know. I'll put it back in the room earlier. But if you notice, the bus driver today has certainly liked this midline on the ICE. And what do we know about the ICE? This is the institutional volume. About 80% of the last session's volume happened between this big red line right up here and this big, the green line up at the top and the red line right here. That's about 80% of the volume from the last session, and it looks like that's going to be just about the case today. Once this took off with this E from this, yes, if you had taken this from this to the high, because you got an X right here at the high, this was the high of the low of last session. I'm sorry, I'm getting mixed up here with my new chart, but this dotted, this is why I keep these on here from the yesterday's high and low, as well as today's high, low, and open, because the bus driver knows exactly where those levels are. Those price levels can be very useful for things like getting out of a trade. If you got in from about 95 to 15, that was 20 ticks. If you took this again from here after you let the bus driver fiddle around, and you could see what was happening. This is what I call bad guy country right down in here. This is a result of a lot of chop. But once it formed another P right off of this is a classic apex trade. I just love these. Then it went right up. You could have taken it to this big magnet right here. You could have taken it onto the green ice. And this long bar right here might have caused you to get out. But that's why I say check this down here. When you get a tall volume bar that's twice as tall as the ones on either side of it, the market will continue in the color of that tall bar. That's just how that's what I use that for. Anyway, you could have gone on to settlement, which turned out to be the high of the day before that. And if you were trailing your stop really tightly and had the confidence to go on up to the big magnet right up here, which where's the big magnet? It was at the high of the range channel from the previous hour. So anyway, once that turns around, this is typical. You get a lot of volume right down here, and then it will start down. So when you get these kinds of trends in the morning on crude oil, in the afternoon you are likely to get some chop. I'm not as familiar with monitoring the indices as closely, but it looks like maybe TF has put in a high of the day. It certainly had a lot of scalps available, but they were short and tight and choppy, and I don't like those. There's too many apexes forming too frequently to suit me. I want to see more longer streets for me to get on the bus for those. So the only other thing that I can think of is Denali very kindly put a really nice little mini chart in here. You might have to scroll back to get it, but it showed the percentages of the movement expectation on these deviation levels. And Denali, thanks for doing that, because that is really useful. We all need to get those numbers tattooed on our little brains. But when you see the two deviation level, and I have now put I don't like a whole lot of numbers over here in my way on the right hand side, so I didn't realize, but you can go to your indicators. I'll show you here, indicators, and on the deviation levels, there is a place up here where you can turn on the labels, and you can have them show up on the left. So you can monitor them, but they're not right in your face when you're trying to figure out a lot of other stuff. But when the market hits a 2 deviation level, you only stand a 95% probability that it's going to go any higher. So if you've gotten a nice trade on and you see that 2 deviation level come along, -2 or the +2 deviation level, if I were you, I'd be getting out of that trade right about then, or within a few ticks, 5 ticks or something. But that's if it's a half, it's 50%. If it's 1.0, it's about 70%. And if it gets to 3, I would tell you game over, because 99.7% that's pretty high, and the expectation for that to continue is probably slim to nothing, and slim just left. So anyway, we'll see what the afternoon brings. The currencies are all in a real tight range, and I find that very interesting. The Canadian dollar, the Aussie dollar, the euro, the US dollar. The yen has had a little movement, but not very much, not like it can. So anyway, I will be back about 2:30, and we'll see if crude oil has delivered any more nice trades. This has been my view from my world in Apex land, brought to you by Apex Investing. I'll see you about 2:30. Thanks.